Hey there everybody, Sage Popham here, founder of the School of Evolutionary Herbalism. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the liver. You know, the liver is, we could probably say this about any organ system of the body, but it is a really, really important organ system. And it is a busy organ in the body in that it is responsible for processing and metabolizing every single nutrient from every single bit of food you put into your body, to processing all of the metabolic waste products that our body produces during metabolism. And with this world of a lot of toxins in the environment and in the food and in the things that we consume, our livers are really, really busy. And it's very important to support our liver health in appropriate ways. And so recently I got a question from a student about looking at the heat excitation tissue state within the liver and kind of what's the underlying physiological process going on there. Like, how do we end up with a quote hot liver, and what are the best types of herbs that we can use to treat that hot liver? And you know, I think this is also important because the liver can be at the root of a lot of other symptoms that we experience on a daily basis. And I think one of the big ones here is headaches. You know, a lot of people experience headaches, to minorly annoying headaches to crippling headaches. And it's really hard to have a good day when you have a really bad headache. And while it's really easy to just pop an aspirin or an ibuprofen or a Tylenol, or you know, for the bold, drinking a really strong cup of willow bark tea or something to try to suppress that headache, we really need to ask the deeper question of like, why do you have the headache? And oftentimes the liver is a major aspect of that. So wanted to take some time to share this little teaching here around the liver and around the heat excitation tissue state, and talk through a couple remedies, lists of remedies and categories of herbs that you would consider for treating the heat excitation tissue state in the liver. So be sure to like and subscribe this video here. Leave me a comment below. It really does help to support the channel. If you're not watching or listening to this anywhere other than the Evolutionary Herbalism blog, be sure to head on over to evolutionaryherbalism.com, where we got tons of free videos and podcasts and content there for you, mini workshops and things like that for you to further your education on your plant path. So thanks so much for joining me here, and I hope you enjoy this video on the liver. All right, question number 6 from JC Clarkson in the Vitalist Herbal Practitioner Program. I am currently studying the hepatobiliary tissue states. Questions about heat excitation. You describe a pattern in the notes of widening of the hepatic artery or overeating / eating a rich diet that again opens the artery and moves the system in parasympathetic excess and over relaxation. So quite different from the liver fire rising picture. For this specific pattern, would you want to focus mostly on cooling bitters, but avoid nervines as there is over relaxation going on? Would you want to include some tonifying herbs to tighten and bring tone back to the artery and ducts? Yeah, okay, good question there. So, okay, let me get my brain oriented around this. I haven't taught this one in a while. So, okay, yeah. So one of the things here basically is with it's a parasympathetic excess pattern, right? So when people are in that resting, digesting state excessively, right? Basically eating a lot. So if you think of eating a really rich meal or eating a lot of food, right? Your digestion's working hard. It's breaking all the stuff down. It's bringing all those nutrients across the gut wall through the portal vein and into the liver. So all of a sudden the liver gets flooded with all kinds of stuff that it needs to process, right? So the liver has all these nutrients and all this stuff, for lack of a better term, that it needs to process, it needs to metabolize. on top of having to process all of our metabolic waste products, which if this is going on for a long time, you've got a lot of stuff coming into the body. You also have a lot of metabolic waste products. So the liver's busy, right? Now, what happened here is that the liver requires as much fresh oxygenated blood as it can get in order to keep it clean and clear and to continue to move all of this stuff around, both within the liver itself and out into the body. So what happens is that hepatic artery dilates. So the hepatic artery is delivering fresh oxygenated blood to the liver. So that hepatic artery dilates and opens, and all that blood starts to pool into the liver. So we're bringing blood from the periphery down essentially into the gut, for lack of a better term, right into the whole solar plexus region. The liver floods with that fresh oxygenated blood so that it can metabolize and kind of clear itself out. But all that fresh oxygenated blood can make the liver a little bit more hot, right? So this is where we see sometimes a hot liver, a busy, so think of heat, not just in terms of like the temperature, but the activity level, right? So when you're eating all this rich food, you got all these metabolic waste products and the liver is processing and working on it. The hepatic artery brings all this fresh blood there. It's hot, right? It's active. The liver is already the hottest organ in the body, right? That's very metabolically active. So it tends towards heat in general. But in this pattern, the liver, it's a hot liver, right? It's working really, really hard. It's doing a whole bunch of stuff. And that is one manifestation of that. The flip side of it is to treat that, really just bitters, right? Bitters are going to be really good. It's going to help cool the liver down. It's going to help it process everything. It's going to help move everything. I don't necessarily know if you want to tonify that hepatic artery because it's a vital response, right? It's what the body needs. I think it really boils down to better dietary regulation here is important. And if the blood is just really sitting there and you're like parasympathetic, brain fog, brain dead, can't think, liver's hot, that's where circulatory stimulants might be good to move that blood out into the periphery a little bit better, because in this pattern all the blood's kind of pooled in the center, and then sometimes that's where you can get like hot in the middle but cold in the exterior, right? So cold hands and feet, kind of dull headaches, pale skin. You feel cold but you're hot in the core, right? And so this is where you need to redistribute the blood. You need to equalize the circulation, right? This is what cayenne pepper does. So that's what the old North American doctors said, is that cayenne equalizes the circulation. This is a case where that would be very effective. Ginger would be good there too. But also just using the bitters to help move that liver energy is good. Now, the other pattern that you're mentioning here is, and you wouldn't want to use nervines in this state typically because they're parasympathetic. You don't want to calm them down more. You want to stimulate their circulation. Tonifying herbs, I would not use so much there. You just basic general liver support is the name of the game here. That's the name of the game. Now, then there's the other pattern where if the liver is not getting good, fresh, oxygenated blood, it's full of metabolic waste products, it's stagnant, you're eating rich foods, all this rich food's getting into the liver, the liver is not able to get enough fresh oxygenated blood in order to process all of that stuff. Now you're getting stagnant liver, you're getting damp patterns building up, and it's like liver's got to send all the energy is building and building and building in the liver. It's got to go somewhere, right? And so then, then it shoots up. All that trapped heat in the liver shoots up, and that's where you get that liver fire rising. Red face, headache, flushing of the skin, irritability, frustration, anger, kind of emotional outbursts. Again, the headaches are really key. Treating the liver here is also done with bitters, right? We need to clear all that dampness. We need to clear all of that heat out. We need to bring the energy back down for the liver fire rising, but we just really need to support in the cleansing of the liver. So one is a damp tissue state, a stagnation that then the vital force responds to with heat. The other is just straight hot liver, right? And both of them will respond well to cleansing liver remedies, basically bitter, cooling, drying liver remedies, right? So the bitter remedies are cooling and drying. So they're drying, so it's going to help clear the dampness from the liver in that one tissue state. And then the other one, the hot liver, it's going to help cool it down and help it just process everything. So both are applicable to both of those tissue states, right? Because of the humoral patterns there of just bitters, right? So dandelion root, artichoke, Oregon grape, golden seal, maybe not golden seal, just because it's, if you do want to tonify the hepatic artery, maybe golden seal is okay there, but I just avoid golden seal. Cheladonia, right? There's so many bitters. Blessed thistle, there's so many good liver bitters out there. That would be the main approach there. So hopefully that answers your question, JC, and kind of helps to clarify some of those dynamics there in regards to heat excitation patterns in the liver. So yeah, really great question.